Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? Well, I got Mr. Afflockett on the bench again. It's cold today, but I wanted to get him out and pull the solenoid. I got the solenoid out. I had to move the stuff out of the way here. Get the clamps out. Now, he talks so much on the Halloween special. You see that right there where my thumb is? That's a melted spot. So either this has a coil in it or a motor. Like one of the guys said that there's a motor and gears in there. You can see that this thing is all plastic. I'm going to have to break it open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a measurement of this. Now, if I can get the same thing, I might be able to get another one in here, but it's very, very difficult. But putting one down at the bottom is going to be hard too. Now you see we had a clamp that went around the bottom base there to hold this in using this metal strip here. But when I put that in, that was before all this stuff was put in here and this board here and everything. So we're going to take apart, or at least try to take apart the solenoid. The solenoid locked up. Pretty well locked up. It used to move up and down freely. It don't anymore. I'm going to see what happened to it. I'm going to try to read this name on here. It's probably made in China anyways. Well, it's called a Black Widow. Yeah, it's a Black Widow, all right. And it's with the tip on here, it's 5 3/4 inches long. So I don't know if a regular car door lock actuator is going to be any bigger than this or not. I took and put this on a 12-volt battery in the shed and nothing, so it's open. But I got this to move up and down. I don't know whether that's a motor in there and gears like it was suggested, or whether it's an actual solenoid. I think it's a motor and gears, because if the motor would be right here, and that's the part where it's burnt, you can see where it's melted on this side too. It's melted here where I showed you, and it's melted right there. I don't know if I'm in focus or not. Well, I'm going to commence to take this thing apart. It's dead here. Anyways, well, whatever I put in here is going to have to be about that same size. It can't be much bigger than that. It can be a little bit longer, because I can bring it down a little bit. But if I put it down here, I'm not going to be able to get this battery in and out. I have just barely enough room now to get the batteries in and out of this. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this apart, and I'll come back on the video in a minute. I just wanted to give everybody an update on this thing here. And it's colder today than it was yesterday, and I'm not going to be able to work outside much more. The weather's getting too cold, and that's why I originally said that I'm going to probably do this next year. Alright, I took off the rubber here, and all this is this was frozen, and I had to free it up. But it used to like have a spring to it. You know, it used to go down and then pop up by itself. It don't. It sounds like it's got gears in it, so I'm venturing to say, like one of the fellows said on the comment on the other video I put up here, that there's a motor and gears in here. But obviously it overheated, so there's no screws in this, so I'm going to have to break it open. But if I get another one, I could probably mount it. I'm going to have to mount it on top of the amp, I guess. Have a pulley and a cable coming down off the, you can see the, you probably can't see it, this little yellow thing here. That used to be the where I put my finger, only there was a bigger ring on that. Well, I'll just put a cable down there, put a pulley in, and it can pull it this way. If I can't get it back up in here, but I should be able to get it back up into here. Very difficult now. What I'm going to do is I want to take and, after I bust this thing up, and I want to just see what's inside of it. Cheap plastic crap. Well, a couple blows with a hammer took care of that on the side here. Let's see what we got. Yep, definitely the guy was right. There's a motor in there. That is not what I wanted. I was hoping it would be an actual solenoid. I got some gears here, and you got a motor in here. And obviously the motor is what overheated. If this had been an actual solenoid, I don't think this would have burnt up. So, I don't know what car door actuators use, but you can plainly see there's a gear there. But that's a motor in there. There's a gear on the end of the motor. There's the other gear that goes with it and actuates the plunger. But the motor's dead. I put an ohmmeter on it. It's open. So there she be. I gotta find one that is a solenoid and not much bigger than this. It can be a little bigger, but not much bigger. And it can't draw 10 or 20 amps. This drew a little over 5 amps when the mouth was held down. But actually, you're actually stalling this motor out, which I wasn't aware of. I thought this was a solenoid. I thought this was the coil here and it would actuate and pull down the lever, but I was wrong. Sometimes you got to take things apart to see how they are. So Mr. Afflockett right now has lockjaw, as one of the fellows suggested. But Mr. Afflockett is going to have to go back into the shed for now, because I got to hunt down a solenoid. My local junkyard, I just checked, they're rip-offs. $30. He's got to take it out of the car. I can get them new for probably less than that. That's why I say around this area, damn junkyards are rip-off artists. So that's an update. Oh, Mr. Afflockett's going to go back into the shed. See how nice his head is? See? Nice chrome dome there. Thanks for watching.